The rope was frozen solid, a noose of ice around his neck. The dog wasn't moving. His ribs jutted out beneath starved skin, and the frost clung to his fur like a death shroud. Emma knew if she didn't break this knot right now, he was going to die right here in the snow. Her fingers burned with cold as she clawed at the knot. Nothing. It wouldn't budge. Desperate, she jammed her car keys into the ice. She scraped. She twisted. She pried. Her knuckles split from the pressure, blood spotting the snow. Then the dog let out a weak whimper, proof he was still alive. "Hold on, just hold on, I've got you." This is the story of a dying soul abandoned in the freezing darkness, and the woman who refused to look away. It started 20 minutes earlier. Emma Harris couldn't feel her fingers anymore. The heater in her beaten-up sedan was fighting a losing battle against the merciless winter night. Outside, the world had turned into a frozen wasteland. Empty roads buried beneath layers of snow, temperatures plummeting to dangerous lows. All she wanted was to get home, crawl under warm blankets, and forget this brutal day. But fate had other plans. Her headlights caught something, a dark shape, standing motionless between the trees. Emma's heart stopped. She slammed the brakes. The car skidded violently across the icy pavement, tires screaming. Her breath fogged the windshield as she aimed the beams toward that shadow. Not a tree, not her imagination. A dog, a German shepherd, tied to a tree, left to die in the snow. Terror flooded through her veins. Without thinking, Emma threw open the door and stumbled into the blizzard. The wind cut through her like knives, but she didn't care. Her boots crunched through the deep snow as she fought her way toward the animal through the swirling chaos of white. When she reached him, the rage and heartbreak hit her at once. What kind of monster does this? Crack. The knot finally gave way. The rope fell, but so did the dog, collapsing into the snow like a broken puppet. Emma's heart thundered. She ripped off her coat and wrapped it around his freezing body. His fur felt like ice. Summoning every ounce of strength, she lifted him. He was terrifyingly light for a dog his size. His head lolled against her shoulder as she staggered back to the car. She yanked the door open and laid him carefully on the passenger seat, cranking the heat to maximum. "Stay with me. Please, just stay with me," she whispered. He didn't move. His breath came in shallow, desperate gasps. The nearest emergency vet was 22 minutes away. She didn't have 22 minutes. One glance at the dog. His eyes were half open, but unseeing. His body was still ice cold. She felt for a pulse beneath his matted fur. Almost nothing. Fear consumed her. Then an idea struck. Emma tore off her gloves and pressed her bare hands against his rib cage. The cold bit into her skin like fire, but she held firm, trying to pour her own life into him. The seconds stretched into eternity. Then a sound. A weak, broken whimper. Barely audible, but real. Hope sparked in her chest. She floored the accelerator. She screeched into the clinic parking lot, threw open the door, and lifted him again. "Help! I need help!" she screamed. A woman in scrubs came running. Inside, chaos erupted. Veterinarians and assistants swarmed, lifting the dog onto a heated table with practiced precision. Dr. Bennett, an older woman with sharp, determined eyes, stepped forward. "We need to warm him gradually, start fluids, and stabilize his vitals." Emma watched as they wheeled him away. There was nothing left to do but wait. The waiting was torture. Every second dragged. Emma sat frozen in the uncomfortable waiting room chair, hands clasped tightly, knuckles white. The image of him tied in the snow kept replaying in her mind. She hadn't saved him just to lose him now. Finally, Dr. Bennett appeared. Her expression was neutral, exhaustion lining her face. "He's extremely fragile," she said. "The hypothermia did severe damage, and he's badly malnourished. But he's alive." Emma entered the room. The dog lay wrapped in blankets, an IV attached to his leg. She approached slowly, reaching out to touch his fur. "You're not alone anymore," she whispered, and for the first time, his tail moved. Just slightly. Then came the twist. Dr. Bennett cleared her throat. "We checked for a microchip. He has one. His owner is registered here in town." A cold shock ran through Emma. Someone from here abandoned him? Dr. Bennett nodded grimly. We're required to contact the owner. The vet's gaze sharpened. Then he'll be available for adoption. Suddenly Emma knew. I want him, she said. I want him right now. Later that evening, the news came. The owner had no interest in reclaiming him. He was hers. She named him Max. Bringing him home was just the beginning. Max was safe, but he was broken. He flinched at sudden movements. His eyes were always watching, waiting for the next bad thing to happen. A few days later, her best friend Lily came over. She looked at Max's dull coat and visible ribs. Are you sure you can handle this? She asked gently. Emma looked at the dog sleeping fitfully on the rug. I don't know, Lily, but I can't abandon him. Maybe I'm lucky I found him. Days turned into weeks. Max's ribs filled out. His coat regained its shine. But Emma knew it wasn't just physical wounds that needed healing. One sunny afternoon at the park, they found a quiet spot. Max stretched out in the grass. Suddenly, he sat up, looked at Emma, and with infinite gentleness, licked her hand. Emma's heart clenched. It was a simple gesture, but full of meaning. It was his way of saying thank you. But the story wasn't over. One day, Dr. Bennett called again. Emma, I wanted to let you know. Authorities have held Max's former owner accountable. He's being prosecuted for animal cruelty. Relief washed over her. Max was officially safe. No one could ever hurt him again. That night, Emma woke to a weight on the bed. Max was sitting there watching her with loyal brown eyes. She burst into laughter. So you've decided you sleep with me now? Max placed a paw on the blanket and wagged his tail tentatively. Emma scratched behind his ears. All right, buddy, you win. On a cold autumn evening, months later, they sat together on the porch. Emma held a steaming cup of tea while Max lay curled at her feet. She watched the leaves dance in the wind. She never imagined one night could change her life so completely. Max lifted his head, met her eyes, and gently licked her hand again. In that moment, she knew this wasn't an ending. It was the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with trust, friendship, and unconditional love. Emma stopped that night when everyone else kept driving. Now I want to ask you, if you saw Max alone in the dark, would you have stopped? Let me know in the comments below. And if you believe every dog deserves a second chance, please like this video and subscribe. It helps us tell more stories just like this one.